I feel like I need to. Joseph, are you underwater? Do you have?
I think it's quite a good sound. Not
Joseph,
great.
do
Not
you-
great.
No. That sounds like vacation, and with
It
that,
does. It does. Well, your shirt screaming vacation. I have to say that is a top tier fancy shirt today. You really put it in
fancy
shape.
shirt. Okay.
Fancy shirt. Yeah.
Fancy
I'll go as far as saying fancy shirt.
All right, and welcome to the Fancy Shirt Show.
Fancy shirt.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Only half of the podcast are actually wearing fancy shirts, but we're still quite fancy.
Yeah, but it was like that's enough for a new episode of Unresolved Dependencies.
Exactly. How have you been, Sebastian?
Good, relaxed and stressed at the same time because I just had 2 weeks of vacation actually, and now I'm back to work since a few days and directly jumped in with a 2 days workshop. Many problems that are not. They're like out of my competency.
But you expected to resolve them clearly.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
and now I'm stuck with them. But yeah, everything back to normal, I would say. How it is, as always, with vacations. It's always stressful before and afterwards, and then you think, oh, damn, when is the next time I go on vacation?
But are you one of those people who are like, literally, okay, the first day back, you're already booking your holidays for the next one?
No.
I know people who do that.
Oh, literally, I did this today. Well, today is not my first day in the office, but it's like the 4th or so. But I actually just booked vacation today because I had the chance to book all of the or most of the rest of the travel of the year because we have a super internal talk. We have a new booking tool for flights and stuff like that, and I now booked a bunch of flights, and then there is a week in October that is not occupied, and I don't need to travel somewhere, and there are no crucial meetings yet fixed. So I took the chance and throw 5 weeks of vacation into it, with the hope then to take the rest around Christmas. Because I have plenty of vacation days left. So actually I did book the next vacation, or just like kind of submitted it for approval, and it was already approved, which is nice.
Nice. That's
Therefore,
good. Yeah. So you're going to be traveling just as much as Joe's travels then, clearly. So did that?
Maybe even a bit more. I'm not sure. There's a very busy schedule for my spring and off. Maybe we need to switch things around for the next episodes.
Exactly.
But where do you travel to, and where did you go last time?
Well, we've actually had a correct answer this time. We actually had
correct answer.
They had the very amazing Sharon Smith, who got back to me through the Instagram. We're on Instagram, in case you didn't know. So follow us on there if you want to see pictures of what Sebastian eats.
Kids, we are so cool. We are on Instagram.
Yeah, we're 6-7 in all the time, so I had to do it. We're just so down with it. But yeah, congratulations to Sharon, who guessed correctly. It's Paris. I was up last time, Paris. So yeah,
in France.
It wasn't by choice. Much as if anybody visiting France. Sorry, apologies for any French people who are listening. You don't ever go to France or Paris on purpose. It's always by accident.
So how did you end up in Paris by accident?
I had a connection through there, and it again confirmed my suspicion that Charles de Gaulle Airport is the worst airport in the world.
After Amsterdam and Frankfurt.
No. Amsterdam's a great airport. Charles de Gaulle is the worst airport in the world, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to go into a massive rant about it, but yeah, it's a topic. I'm going to control myself. But yeah, if you ever want to hear my rant on Charles de Gaulle Airport, then all you need to do is just ask me. But yes, I was in Paris, had a layover there before traveling to Nuremberg. I couldn't do Nuremberg because we'd done that before as a previous answer. So yeah, that was the correct answer from Sharon. So regular listener of the podcast, thanks for listening. Thanks for the correct answer. If you want to get involved at any point, you can contact us through Instagram or email us hello@unresolveddependencies.com. So
What is Sharon now gifted to? Because we said she will get something when someone gets it right. We just never expected by so many countries and so many cities in the world Joe is traveling to that anyone would get it right. So we really need to make something up now for her.
You'd have thought that we'd thought this through. We'd have been prepared and ready, but we haven't. We're sorry. We're just not prepared. And it's 11 episodes. We're still pretty badly prepared, but we do need to sort ourselves out. I will see if we get some nice stickers done or something like that. I think there's some good things.
Stickers is a good start.
Stickers, and then we can kind of work our way up from there. And then
maybe as well,
Sharon gets a nice set.
Maybe as well something like to throw. So if you're at a conference and you're like in the audience and we are presenting like a workshop or any session or so, you can just throw something with the logo on it or so.
What, to shut us up, you mean?
Yeah.
To say, right, okay. Yeah, that works. It's better than just, shouting and saying shut up or storming out.
And actually, I do have, so say something to throw. I think that's fun. And also I can give it to my dogs so they can
so that's the real reason. That's the real reason.
Actually the real reason
is the real reason.
No, the real reason is that I sit in the audience while you're presenting and I throw things at you. So that is the real reason.
So frisbees and stickers, we'll order them, we'll get them, we'll see.
Not frisbees, like a bowl. Is it like a bowl or something which you can just like.
Okay. We'll work this out between us. But yeah, well done to Sharon. But we've got a new clue. So clearly, we're getting interest now. People are actually engaging with us on the channel. So who knows, might get some more clues through. So yeah, where is Joe traveling next? I am traveling to a famous city that was once part of the Hanseatic League. And in its country, it has the most extensive number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Where am I going to next? Let us know. hello@unresolveddependencies.com, or you can hit us up on the socials, Instagram, LinkedIn. We've not done TikTok yet. We're not that cool, but maybe we'll have to figure out TikTok at some point as well.
With the social media game, at some point as an adult, you just draw a line and say, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah. I think TikTok we might be at
TikTok is that is the level where I'm too old for that.
But I'm never too. Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm not too old for? Admiring what you've been eating.
So, I think so.
Yeah.
This time, it's a very, very close to Joe's heart, I would say.
It is, yeah. And you may have seen this on the socials. Yeah.
Yes. Because we went out for dinner date, and because you were actually in Nuremberg, as you just mentioned, and I myself, I was curious enough to come down to Nuremberg and pick you up for a nice Schnitzel. So
honestly, he's a great guy to go on a date with. I got a free ride. He paid for the meal. Good conversation. I think I got at least 3 drinks out of him as well. So yeah,
it's like the best date you had in years.
It's literally the best day I've had for quite a while. So yeah,
yeah, all the socials are in the comments.
Exactly. But yeah, what did we eat? This is the most important thing, and this was amazing. What did we eat?
Yeah, maybe you can this time talk about the Schnitzel, because I just had a cordon bleu, which was nice and tasty, full of cheese, full of ham. Actually, I have to admit, cordon bleu is one of my sweet spots and favorite foods in existence. Not only my dad, makes it a little bit different because he is using some kind of chicken, just for me for the gains, and do it basically by himself with all the stuffing and stuff around it. So it's more or less whatever you can do self-made. But also, for example, when I go with friends to watch some Bundesliga or some football or Champions League, we usually go to a very nice German restaurant before that, have some drinks, and as well cordon bleu. And the same as well here where I now live in the city. When once there is like a birthday party, or for example, the first date with my girlfriend was actually at our place where we eat cordon bleu, and very big schnitzels, actually bigger than you had at the place. So when you're here, you come to my place, and then we go for real big schnitzel.
Is it a French dish, cordon bleu?
I mean, it's a French name.
It sounds French, doesn't it?
Sounds French. which already makes me dislike it more. So
yeah, we're really disliking the French. We're gonna have lots of complaints in this episode, let me tell you. But
sorry,
yeah,
Ellen.
exactly. Yeah, but this place had the most amazing, not just a schnitzel, a grocer schnitzel, the biggest schnitzel, bigger than I think your dog. Bigger than my head. I think at one point I managed to actually cut it in such a way so it actually resembled Ireland, which was quite.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I was so impressed that I managed to do that. I was like, top of the man, and look at you. Oh, now I've offended the Irish as well. But my excuse is that I'm half Irish, so I'm only taking
the island schnitzel. Maybe that's a good name for the episode, the island schnitzel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but it's quite possibly. I think I did take a photo, but we'll get that out on the social. But certainly, it's a. What was the name of the place? It's in Erlangen. Is it?
No, it's still not Erlangen. It's in Fürth.
Okay.
So
Fürth.
it's called Gruner Brauhaus. So it's basically famous for beer and the brewery, but they also do schnitzel and all of the stuff. And basically the outer rim of the schnitzel is not traditional. It's made based on pretzels, so it's a bit different to your Austrian dish and favorite schnitzel you may have eaten so far. So that's make it a little bit special, yeah.
But the Hellas beer was just like astounding. So
yeah, it's famous for the brewery, actually, for the beer. Yeah, so it's directly on tap.
So yeah, so we're trying to resolve our dependencies not only through this podcast, but also with the occasional dinner dates
in real life.
In real life, yeah. So we are still talking outside of this. Would you believe?
Surprisingly, to our own. Yes.
But a topic that's got me really kind of interested at the moment. To move on to more serious topics.
Is it project operations related?
No, that might happen one day, maybe.
Maybe.
Copilot Credits.
I mean, the chance is bigger than it happens to you too. Instead of to our audience.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know. But yeah, it's Copilot Credits.
Copilot Credits, of course. Yes, that's what I wanted to say next. Yeah, totally not application lifecycle management. Oh yeah, but yeah, Copilot Credits. What do you want to know? Because I'm a certified license expert.
Oh, you are?
I'm not. Okay. No, I'm not.
So I think it's a confusing topic. So this is why I wanted to talk about it, because I can't be the only one trying to make sense out of all of this. So let's talk first of all in terms of how you can consume them first of all. So and just stop me at any point if I'm getting things wrong or if I've misunderstood things.
Okay. Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Okay. So
you have not started.
I've not started, but as soon as you can, just interrupt me, because I just want to make sure I've got it clear, and then hopefully by us getting it clear on here, then others will also be a little bit more enlightened about it. So
that would be a win-win-win situation.
Exactly. So there's three ways you can get Copilot credits. You can buy the Copilot credit capacity packs through M365, through CSP, whatever your provider sort of is, and that's in kind of in increments of, I think it starts at 2,500. It kind of goes its way up from there, I think. You can buy it on an annual and a monthly commit. So that's one way you can kind of do it. You've got the ability to consume it through pay-as-you-go Azure subscription, where you have to go into Power Platform Admin Center, configure your billing plan, and then from there, you're then paying a slightly higher rate. I think it's like 1 cent per credit. No?
Yes, but it depends on where you set the billing plan up, because for example for the WorkIQ API and Copilot Cowork, this happens on the Microsoft Admin Center actually. But so far so correct. I just don't know if the tiers or bundles or packages are starting at 2,500. I have no idea how this scales. It just scales in tiers, and if you need 1 credit more, you need to buy the bigger package.
Right. So we should probably step back a bit, because in terms of why would you need Copilot credits? It's mainly just for any time you're using anything that's kind of, I guess, vaguely agentic. So anything like, for example, a custom Copilot Studio agent, anything involving those services that you just mentioned, that's where you require these sort of Copilot credits to use these kind of experiences.
It kind of depends. So if we talk the classic experience, if you do have an M365 Copilot license and you just use the agent in terms of like a chat interface, or you, for example, have it linked it up to internal resources like HR documents, very, very common example, and you just chat with that. This is included in the M365 Copilot license, so it is consumption. But for example, if you have set up an autonomous agent that runs through a service account somewhere in the background that kind of scans your emails or does any wild actions while you're away, those would probably consume credits. Yeah.
Because M365 Copilot does include some usage entitlement, some Copilot credit usage built in.
Yes, it is written in the license guide that it includes a fair amount of credits, which it's very hard to translate what is like, how many is fair amount. And I actually super lucky that I'm on this podcast, apparently. I asked Microsoft, what is a fair amount of Copilot credits? Because I had no idea. And I had a customer asking that. So yeah, what is a fair amount? And they actually claimed when I was talking to them, this was like 2 months ago or so, that this fair amount is that high that you are, as a human, you should not be able to reach that limit. So,
Okay.
everything that is
kind of like the API thresholds and the
yes,
source limits.
exactly. So it's more like limited to call out any kind of attacks or to call out any kind of automated programs that just ping everything milliseconds or so. That would be then blocked at some point. But if you are a human person, even though you use the agent on a daily basis and very much frequently, you should not ever reach those limits. And the nice thing is, if you would reach these limits, then Microsoft would be then as well able to lift that for you if there is a use case where this actually would happen. But I've not heard that this has happened so far.
Yeah, because if you go on and we'll link to this in the show notes, you've got the Copilot credit estimator tool thing where you can punch in a bunch of data and stuff like that. And one of the scenarios that you can do there is, okay, custom agent, okay, does the users have an Copilot M365 license? Okay, yes, how many users? The more you put into that, the more that kind of gets deducted down. So for certain scenarios, if you've got a internally facing Copilot Studio agent, as long as the users have got an M365 Copilot license, then a conversation around Copilot credits shouldn't be needed in theory, is my understanding. But maybe you can correct me there.
Yeah, no, as long as kind of is used in terms of a real conversation with the licensed user, this is covered.
Yeah, because again, you're charged at the moment. Again, this may have changed. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're charged traditionally based on, okay, one Copilot credit every time, for example, in a conversation node in the Copilot Studio agent, where the agent goes, "Hello, how are you?" Message node. That's one charge. Anytime you're using a Gen AI capability, it's charging 2 credits, a more expensive.
Yes, and then even like tool use is more than that. So if you use any tools or something, that charges more. I think I could have looked up the numbers. I think it's like up to 15 or something. And especially like when they like have triggers and stuff like that, it gets very much more expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think the important message is that one credit or one message, as it was called before, is not translating into one action on the agent. That's actually the point why, for example, estimation of like how much is the runtime cost of this agent is so difficult, because you may have an agent that runs with different child agents, with different tools, with handling 3, 4, 5 scenarios. And each of the scenario, they may be the same processes over and over again, but you don't know how much or how often which of these processes or orders will be triggered, because they then all consume a different amount of credits based on whatever happens there.
Yeah, because the thing that I'm advising customers at the moment is, okay, for just initially just go down the route of the second option that we spoke about. There is a third option, which I'll come back and mention. Go down the route of having the pay-as-you-go with the Azure subscription. Let that sort of bed in maybe for 2-3 months after you go live with the solution. Then at that point, you've got a much more accurate picture in terms of what your usage is going to be, and then you can go and then order some commit to some buying some capacity packs based on what the actual workloads are like. And that for me feels at the moment like the best option to kind of recommend there.
Yeah, I think as well. So, and I think definitely during testing and so you can see like, okay, what is the roughly cost of like one runtime of these agent functionality? If you can determine it, and then you can maybe scale it up and then figure out how much it will consume on a monthly basis. But yes, so having some kind of limited budget on the Azure subscription, this is a good way to start off, and then later on you can anyways scale. And the assumption is that you will, in 3 months or in 6 months or in 8 or 12 months, you are using more credits than you're using today. So anyways, that would make sense to potentially buy these a little bit cheaper packages then.
Yeah, and that leads on to the third way you can get your Copilot credits. That's through this thing called, I believe it's called P3, where I think it's provision and purchase through Azure. But this is like, okay, you're going to be using like so many credits. So you're basically buying all of it upfront for the year, but you're getting a massive discount, an absolutely huge discount on that compared to if you were to go down different routes.
Yes.
In some cases, I think, and I think the most expensive pack that you can get that will set you back a nice, cool $250,000, but you do get a 40% discount on the prices there. So maybe it's a good deal. Who knows?
And it's free of taxes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that is how you can acquire it. M365 Copilot does. I think there's certain cases where maybe you could argue, okay, if a customer is not already always on the fence about M365 Copilot, they want to do more with agentic stuff, but they're not too sure whether M365 Copilot adds value there. I can see that potentially actually saying to them, okay, go and get the M365 Copilot license because it is going to, I guess, subsidize some of your agent costs around all of that. What I didn't realize as well, and I told you about this the other day, was that apparently some of the Dynamics 365 SKUs also include Copilot credits. Basically, any of the premium SKUs that there are today, so Dynamics 365 Sales Premium, Customer Service Premium, that thing?
Supply chain.
Supply chain
one
and
more, which
one more.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
You can guess.
Not project operations. Interestingly,
No, of course not. No,
which you could,
why should it?
which based on a price point is at fairly similarly positioned as the other options there. But yeah, basically with those, I think you get per user around about, I think it's 1,000 credits per month. It says in the license.
Yeah, it's 1,000 credits per month per user. License.
Per user. So, yeah, which I didn't realize there. So that's actually pretty good because what we're seeing is that a lot of the first party apps now have these agentic based sort of experiences. They are, for all intents and purposes, technically speaking, Copilot Studio agents behind the scenes. So if you don't have a provision in place to be able to sort of, for it to consume Copilot credits, then those agents aren't going to work. And in fact, if you go on the tool that I mentioned, the Copilot Credit Estimator tool, then you can actually mock out those scenarios for those first-party agents and then see what you need as part of that. So, so it's quite a complex topic, and it's taken us nearly 30 minutes to talk through what I think are the most essential details. Maybe I've missed out some important stuff, but
it gets more complicated actually.
Okay,
and this is
enlighten us, please.
Yeah. So it gets more complicated, especially if you're then using Copilot Cowork, or you're using as well the Work IQ APIs, which are now in preview. So first of all, maybe what is each of them? So Work IQ are Work IQ APIs. You can, I think both names are valid at the moment. It's basically the layer on top of Microsoft Graph. So where all of your work-related information is, like, this is like the golden data, basically the pot of the data, which is really then making a difference in your answers for M365 Copilot or any agent, like where your business data lives, like calendar data, emails, the nasty messages from Joe and Teams, all of that is there in Graph. But Graph is,
my message is always nice and polite. Just saying.
Okay, that was okay. If you think so, I will not leak any internal chats, but if someone pays me
No, I
more
don't
than
want.
5
I don't want HR
euros,
involved, please. I do not want
then I'm
HR
fine
involved.
with that.
So
Yes,
yeah.
sorry. So let me explain. And so, but because Microsoft Graph is like not ideal to be consumed with a large language model or with any kind of service, I would assume, Microsoft has built this WorkIQ layer, and with that, the WorkIQ APIs. So when your custom agent now wants to access like this kind of business data from this optimized layer for LLMs and agents, this will cost you money. This will cost money in terms of per call and per action for any kind of custom agent. It's all included in the M365 Copilot license. So the chat which you use on your daily basis, for example, this is all covered. That's fine. But if you build now a custom agent, this will be charged. And as I mentioned earlier, this billing or this subscription needs to be set up in Microsoft Admin Center and not in Power Platform. So again, we have two different admin centers where like close to the same functionality lives, which is a bit, I want to say, not transparent as well. We just did this internally to estimate like what do we pay on a monthly basis for AI. It's less than we thought, to be honest. It's like not in the six figures.
Wasn't
But
like what was it, Uber level, where you're blowing the budget in quarter of a year?
it's not like that. It's like less than I thought. But
Okay, that's good.
getting this data was like I ran from store to store basically to get free items, and I had to kind of pick each number from different places, and that was quite annoying. But yeah, the WorkIQ API and the WorkIQ functionalities, if you're using custom agents, will be charged by consumption. With the connected Azure subscription, similar, as you can set it up on the Power Platform, but just in the admin center. And there is no way to just buy packages at the moment there, so it's only pay as you go, fully consumption based. And the same happens then as well for Copilot Cowork, while the M365 Copilot license allows you to use Cowork, basically enables Cowork for you, but to actually use it, it is again consumption based, everything that happens in there. And this is actually right now the case where we're trying out where is the use case on Copilot chat versus where is the use case on Copilot Cowork, because in some, I think, early demos or early examples, meanwhile, Copilot Chat has grown a lot, has integrated agents like PowerPoint, so you can just type in add PowerPoint, and it again can generate you a very decent PowerPoint based on your corporate identity and with all the data. But you can do the same stuff in Cowork as well, which then is potentially a little bit better, but potentially as well costs you money. And this is currently like the question where we need to be very careful for like what is the use case and what is the best tool to use to get this use case.
Well, it's the one advice I give to anyone at the moment. Just you're no longer just estimating 50 users for this license, whatever it is, all this sort of stuff. You're gonna have to really go deep into this sort of stuff, because if you're showing any single agentic kind of experience that a customer, or you wanted to put that in place and people are excited about that, then you need to have a serious look at how Copilot credits are being consumed and billed, and that
across your organization.
And that could be quite a critical factor there, because this could end up costing you a far more than what you originally anticipated, just because you're introducing agentic AI into the equation. So it's kind of an interesting thing.
And absolutely.
A topic that I'm trying to master myself as I'm going weaving my way through different sort of requirements and things.
Yeah, but actually it's not even stopping there. So we have as well GitHub Copilot, which also brings a different, like the next shop to the or the next store where that wants your credits.
Well,
But
this is interesting as well, because we also
before we go to GitHub Copilot, just one more ad. If you're using Copilot Cowork and you want to understand like how much that action, that prompts you want to consume, you can type in /cost. There is an integrated skill in out-of-the-box Cowork that then just shows you the credits you just have consumed. So that is very helpful just to understand, like, this PowerPoint now was €5. Is it worth it? Maybe if you do PowerPoints the whole day, and instead of sitting there 8 hours and clicking PowerPoint, you can get that work done within 10 minutes and it costs you $100, then it's potentially worth it. So that is as well a new factor, a new KPI to have in mind. What is the output and what is the benefit out of it? And of course, you can
that's pretty good pro tip. I didn't know you could do that though. That's pretty good. So thanks for sharing that.
You're learning something here. But as well, you can assign budget limits on the Microsoft Admin Center for Cowork and WorkIQ APIs. This can be done overall, but also per user, for example. So if you have just someone who just is not very good in prompting or describing what they want, and it's like kind of guessing their way through the chat, then you can as well limit that to a certain amount. So that's just to add that not everyone is now freaking out that they need to build billions of dollars just because they use Cowork. You have your handled as an admin for sure.
But going to GitHub Copilot, something again which I wasn't aware of, is that can be built through Azure. You can link it up to an Azure subscription and bill your usage through there. So that I found to be quite sort of interesting. It feels to me, certainly based on some conversations I'm having this fiscal with from a Microsoft standpoint, is the GitHub Copilot is going to be quite important. That's my feeling. So,
I mean, Azure as well, right? So when you say, but there is a pattern, right? So we have 3 different stores, but there is always a pay-as-you-go option through Azure. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then if you then count in Foundry, for example, that's also built for Azure. So in a perfect example, if you just start like with a new fresh tenant tomorrow, you would just want to go and have all of your consumption go through Azure. Potentially just have different subscriptions per tool that you can just make sure that you have an overview what consumes what. But this is potentially the ideal setup in the future to just go with your consumption through Azure and not have it like split up in 500 licenses here and 2 licenses there, and there is a budget limit here, and over there is some free consumption because we don't use that feature here.
Consumption, I think it's going to be the future. We're going to consume everything.
What is not consuming your pocket? Only your time is this podcast.
Well, hopefully it's cost you. You don't have to pay for this podcast. We could be charging people. So I mean, that's something.
We could charge people to stop with the podcast potentially.
No, to listen to it.
No, to stop it, I would say. I think this is a bigger selling point.
Yeah, so like we have a Patreon set up so that, okay, if you're a subscriber, then effectively you no longer see this anywhere on the internet. We basically block it for you.
This is a nice idea. Just you pay like $20 a month, and then just like this person or this kind of content is not existing for you on any social media, in any like web search or something. It's just blocked out.
Okay, I'm gonna go vibe code that.
We need to go vibe coding now. Okay, so it's a good note to end this session. A lot of licensing today, licensing and schnitzels.
Yeah, we'll drop some links in the description to some of the resources that I've been using a lot. It's every day is a school day for me at the moment. It feels like, and you need to really get your good handle on this because the potential to blow the bank in a very catastrophic style, I think, is quite possible here. So,
absolutely. So definitely makes sense to be aware of the cost, but as well be aware of what AI brings to the table and how it makes lives easier, if it is.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Comment, like, share, subscribe, tell your parents, tell your children to listen to this podcast, whoever you want to.
No. Force your children to listen to this podcast.
Force your children.
That is the power you have. Just sit them down, put the headphones on them. They have to listen to this. This is their weekly education or fortnightly education.
Buy the 3-year-old their first iPhone, make them set an account, download this podcast, make them listen to it, that they are ready for the future.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you so much, Joy.
Thank
you. And see you in 2 weeks, Monday, as always, to Unresolved Dependencies. We are here to resolve this.